Take it away, Stan.
Take it away. I'm taking it away. This is Stan Weisleder on The View from Over Here, and we are broadcast on crntalk.com. It is interplanetary, so not only is it in the LA basin, it's in the New York basin and wherever you are on this planet and beyond.
In fact, I think we have a larger listening audience outside of this world.
We're out of this world.
Out of this world.
Yes. Anyway, who is that guy talking? That's Malcolm Burman, our producer. And let me introduce our special guest today, Jamee Natella. And she is a producer extraordinaire going to venture into new areas. And she will be coming on. Well, she could come on whenever she wants and butt in, add to the banter or whatever. We'll have Jerry Cutler today, our movie reviewer. And Jerry, as everyone knows, is a rabbi. Well, before he became a rabbi, he was a comedian. And now he's a rabbi who does movie reviews.
And does comic work on the pulpit.
On the side and on the front and in back, okay? And he will be talking about The View from the Pew, and he will be going over his latest movie that he saw.
Jamie, feel free to interrupt if you want.
Well, I wanted to tell you that Jerry Cutler is actually very good friends with my family. In fact, he brings challah to the office every Friday for my son.
Jerry and Jeff?
Yeah, Jerry Cutler is a pretty known, advocate, for our family, and we've all been good friends, and we're big supporters of Israel. So, I'm happy to see Jerry come in. Hopefully,
he'll be on the phone in about another 10 minutes.
I can't get over how small this world is. Sometimes I think it's not just small; it's incestual. Everybody knows everybody.
We do all have that connection, especially when it comes to Israel, we have that, passion and love, So. I'm from Chicago, but I love, I grew up in a North Shore, suburb, and then later on moved to the city and went to high school in the city. So I feel very strong.
The city in Chicago, or
City of Chicago, City of Chicago. Moved out here when I was 17.
Did you belong to a gang?
I didn't belong to a gang, but growing into Chicago, I think you all feel like you're part of a gang.
Did you carry a gun?
I didn't carry a gun, a water gun.
But you do now.
I do now. I'm carrying an Uzi. Be careful.
What are you carrying?
I just shot machine guns for the first time in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, you got in Vegas.
That was a blast.
That was a blast. Very good.
I'm going to tell you what happened after I shot the machine gun.
You killed someone.
I went through the airport. I was flying back. And I had gun residue powder on my hand. So I got beeped off through security. And I said, no, I was just here for an event for YPO. And I went in to shoot my first machine gun. And it must be on the hand. Oh, they didn't believe me.
Well,
back
you
into
sure
the private
as
room.
hell look like a terrorist to me.
I would definitely take you off the plane and strip search you.
That was with
Malcolm,
my dark hair.
come on, it's not that kind of a show.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, let's do the news before we have Jerry Cutler on
quickly.
board. Okay, what's new in the news? Well, my son-in-law called me the other day and asked me, what's new? So I responded, do you mean in Calabasas or in Gaza? Then he didn't know what to say. So, news items. This is my take, not everybody. With Boko Haram and ISIS running around like lunatics, which they surely are, and the Russians ready to invade Ukraine, and the Syrians killing their own people, and Hamas running out of children to use as shields, and religious fanatics going berserk all over the planet, what is to become of us? I know that we all live in a bell-curved world as it affects every aspect of our lives. But when the lunatic fringes try to enforce their insanity upon the rest of the bell-shaped curve, we got trouble in River City. Okay, now that you've been thoroughly cheered up...
Right, I have to go into depression, right?
And brought up to date with what's new, let's get down to some mundane items. And you guys feel free to interrupt. High cost of college getting you down? That's you, Malcolm.
I have 2 sons in college.
I'm saving for college right now.
You can't save.
All right. Did you know that you can send your kids to Norway, where they allow students from all over the world to attend their public universities free of charge?
Nora, do you have a contact number for me?
And it's okay if they don't have blonde hair and blue eyes?
But do they teach it in English or Norwegian?
Malcolm, I haven't a clue.
Well, do some background searches. Google it.
Well, you Google it. You're a better Googler than me. In Moscow, okay, dogs have learned how to take the train from the suburbs to the city so they could scavenge around for food, and then they take the train back home. Okay?
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, it should.
I want their dog trainer.
Now, here's a good one. How would you like to be remembered after you're gone? Okay?
I like to be remembered while I'm here.
Well, there's a company in Switzerland called Al Gore Danza.
Al Gore?
Al Gore Danza. One word. I think I pronounced it right. That will turn your ashes into a diamond keepsake for your family.
Well, I got one better. For a few years ago, they were talking about freeze-drying pets. You don't stuff them; you freeze-dry them, and it's an exact replica of who they are.
So what do you put them in the freezer?
No, it's freeze-dried, and it keeps shape. I don't know how many years. I want to be freeze-dried.
Well, you have a cat. Are you going to do that?
No, I want to be freeze-dried and put in front of the television set with a remote in my hands, because that's the way my wife visualizes me, with a remote.
Freeze-dried.
Freeze-dried.
Anyway, let's go on with the important news items of the day.
Ta-da! We need a drum roll.
Prostitution is not now and has never been illegal north of the border in Canada. And maybe that's why the Mounties all wear red.
That's why they smile a lot.
Sweden is so good at recycling that it has already run out of garbage and has to import some for their energy programs. You get a lot of it here in this country.
I'd like to find out more about that.
Yeah.
Most people are not aware of the fact that during World War II, Queen Elizabeth, the dotty old lady, she was in the military where she was a driver and a mechanic. True fact. Graphene, the world's strongest material, is many times thinner than paper, yet many times stronger than steel. But so far it's only been replicated in the lab, not ready for, commercial use.
How is that related to graphite?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Sorry I asked.
All right, let's close out with this item. If aliens that are located 65 million light years away...
Who listened to the show?
...were able to look at Earth with a very powerful telescope, they would see dinosaurs running around. So think about it. Anyway, Paul, do we have Jerry on board?
We don't have Jerry on board.
Yes, no? You're saying no. Okay.
No. Okay, so we'll just continue.
Yeah, if you ever want to wake up Paul in the control room, you let out with some 4-letter words.
Okay.
Okay?
Because even though we're on cable or internet, this station does not allow vulgarity. So please be careful.
Okay.
Because I could see you...
See, now that you said it, now
it's in your mind.
The reverse is going to happen.
Yeah, every time I do it on purpose just to interrupt him from his ham sandwich or to make sure he's not sleeping. Or sometimes I'll just say, I'll save him the trouble, and I'll just say, that damn bleepity bleep bleep bleep, and so forth.
And you see him go
too nice.
and you see him go crazy there.
Paul, are you asleep again?
We have Jerry here?
Yeah, that's right.
Jerry, where were you?
I was walking. I walk in the morning now.
Well, this is not the morning anymore. It's 10:15.
Yeah, well, by me it's the morning.
Oh, by the way, we have a surprise guest for you here.
Who knows you?
I do know you. I'm Stephen Paul's other half. So I hear you bring challah to the office every Friday.
Who's that?
It's Jamee Natella, Dorothy and Hank Paul and Stephen Paul's wife.
It's a small world, isn't it?
It's a small world after all.
Okay, quickly. Let's get to what movie are you reviewing?
The one I love.
The one I love. Go.
I should go?
No.
Wait, I thought you wanted me to review it.
Okay, review it.
Go review it.
Okay. The one I love, very interesting. It was at Sundance. It won all sorts of awards. And it's Mark Duplass and Elizabeth Moss and Ted Danson. And Ted Danson is on for 3 seconds. But the show itself, the movie itself reminded me of a Rod Serling chapter. It could have been shorter. It could have been 90 minutes. Actually, I don't even know how. Oh, it was 91 minutes.
Okay, it could have been 90.
Should have cut out 1 minute. But at any rate, it's very interesting. It's about a couple who want to renew the spark in their love. They've been married for a while, and they go to this very magical place that Ted Danson sends them to. He's a psychologist or psychiatrist. Anyway, he sends them to this place, and they wind up with 4, but 2 exactly like them. So it's interesting.
They wind up with 4?
Well, he gets up and he goes into another room, and he just left her, and she's in the next room or next house. They have a summer house. So they meet each other at these the other person turns them on. So it's love lost, but love trying to regain itself again.
You have me totally confused.
Yeah, well, it's confusing in a movie. It's interesting. Is it terrific? No. Is it very good? No. But it's interesting. I like the way they utilize their characters.
Does it have flashbacks?
No, it doesn't have flashbacks, as I don't remember, but I don't think so. But they do renew the spark with each other, but it's another person. It's very hard to explain.
I know. I realized that. There was a movie called what? Was Hope Floats?
It's Sundance.
With Meryl Streep, where they where they go to a therapist, where they go to renew their
No. See, these 2 are ready to divorce. They want to get rid of each other. So they go to this vacation house, and it's an attempt to save their marriage.
Right.
And it begins. They're very romantic. They love each other. It's fun. It's surreal. It becomes surreal, and they see the other person when they go into the next house, to the other house on the property. He would see his wife, who he just left, but she's there. How did you get here so fast? Anyway, they turn each other on, and that's the way they renew. The spark comes into their life again. It's recapturing that old flame, which they're able to do. So anyone who's really having a hard time with their marriage, let them look at this, and they can get some pointers, perhaps.
Okay, well.
But it's a little convoluted, and
but stick around, Jerry. We're going to get a little more into the movie, but we have to come up to a break right now. You're listening to The View from Over Here, heard on crntalk.com, and stay tuned, and we'll be back in a few minutes with Jerry and Jamie and maybe even Stanley.
The next time you're in Southern California, visit the Riviera Restaurant in Calabasas. Riviera, as the name implies, is the ultimate in Calabasas restaurants. There's not even a close second. And what's better suited for the Beverly Hills of the Valley than a Beverly Hills type of restaurant and watering hole without those ridiculous Beverly Hills prices? They're so good. With impeccable service, they probably don't even need this commercial. Even now, it's hard to get a good table except for off hours. But if you really want to treat yourself or your date, call 818-224-2163. That's 818-224-2163. That's the Riviera Restaurant in Calabasas, California.
Attention, if you've had hip replacement surgery and suffered any complications, you need to listen to this important legal alert. Major manufacturers have made billions of dollars available to award legal claims for defective hip implants. Thousands of these defective hip implants have been recalled by various manufacturers. If you've had hip surgery and suffered complications, you may be entitled to receive significant compensation to help you deal with your complications. You may be eligible to receive money to help with medical expenses, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Protect yourself by hiring an experienced trial attorney. Our partner law firms are experts in hip replacement surgery lawsuits. Find out now if you're eligible to receive any of the $2.5 billion hip settlement fund. Call now for free information.
855-586-1561. 855-586-1561. 855-586-1561. That's 855-586-1561.
As a small business owner, there's one word that you absolutely dread: payroll. For small businesses, it's a big burden. You may think you're saving time and money doing it yourself. But come on, are you? Timesheets, processing checks, calculating taxes, a total waste of your time. Paychex simplifies payroll processing, saving you time and money. Submit your payroll online, fax it in, or call your dedicated Paychex payroll specialist. And you're done. Learn more at trypaychex.com. Come on, do the math. The IRS dishes out 8 million penalties a year. Make one mistake and you're on the hook. On average, you're losing nearly one business day every month doing payroll. That's time and money you'll never get back, unless you get Paychex. More than 500,000 small businesses already do. Call 888-578-5378. Trade payroll pressure for peace of mind. Call now. 888-578-5378. That's 888-578-5378.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Okay, Stan, let's get the spark back.
All right, we're back here in the studio in downtown glamorous Sunland. I'm here with Malcolm Burman, our special guest, Jamee Natella, and we have interviewing right at this moment Jerry Cutler.
Resident reviewer.
A resident reviewer? He's not... Where's his residence? Anyway.
Westwood.
Here.
Jerry, okay.
So I missed that whole thing. You had said it's like a Rod Serling type of thing, so it's sort of like surreal. It's not.
Yes, it's very surreal.
Wait a minute, is it science fiction?
No.
Okay.
It's surreal, and the scenes are, for me anyway, were a bit repetitive, and the dialogue, and it's a beautiful setting. The setting is lovely, but it's
in a motel room.
Well, it's a house and a country house. You know, they have two homes. One is the house itself. The other is the guest house. So they meet at both places. But it's when they go to meet their the other self. It's an alter ego thing, and the spark is there. They realize that the spark could very well be there. What happens at the end, I can't tell you. But
yeah, please don't.
Yeah.
No, yeah. But they try to you know, it's as if they're meeting someone who they met many years.
Yeah,
before.
Jerry, I hate to interrupt, but it sounds like they're getting the spark back because they think their partner is somebody else, and strange is always better.
No, it's not somebody else. It's the one that they know and love, but they're acting differently.
They meet their former selves.
Exactly, and they're acting a little differently, and it's that original spark that turned them on in the first place.
All right, but Jerry, how many bagels are you going to give this one?
I give 2.
2. And what did Jeff think of it? Or she's not around?
Didn't see it. She chose not to go.
And then when you came back, did you look at Jeff in another light? Or, well, you never have lost the
No,
initial.
that's still there. Oh, my, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How would you view this as a rabbi?
As a rabbi, actually, I liked it as a rabbi because it gives hope to a failing marriage, that it can be, they can set off sparks again, and you can have that initial spark you had when you first met each other.
Yeah, well, I mean, my theory
it's
is
hope.
Yeah.
It's hope.
It's hope. When you first meet each other, they're, you know, it's part romance, part love, part
when they first got married.
Yeah, part lust.
Yes.
Mostly lust.
Yeah.
And the lust is gone, and here the lust is renewed.
But then you wake up in the morning and the baby is crying and the rent is due and you have to go shopping for food.
Well,
and
they don't. I didn't notice any kids there, so that didn't come into play. But unlike my wife and I, who have that eternal spark, you know, all we have to do is look at each other, and that's fine.
Wow. Yeah, so sometimes it's embarrassing when we're with you. Yeah.
Yeah, well, when you bring a beautiful woman like your wife, it's difficult to pay attention, you know. But I still overcame that and still held on to my wife.
Well, you have to hold on to your wife when we bring her. You know, we're going to come over to your services.
Oh yeah.
When are they, Jerry?
When?
Yes, when.
Rosh
So our
Hashanah.
listeners can hear the
out.
date.
Yep.
September 24th.
24th
is the first night.
Right.
September 25th is the first day.
And where are your services?
Beverly Hills High School.
And how do people come in contact with you if they want to attend?
If they want to attend, they would call up the Creative Arts Temple in Los Angeles, 310-470. Oh, no, we changed the number. Actually, 473-3100.
Oh, okay. Otherwise, I'll call up and they say, I'm sorry, this number no longer is in service.
Or info at Creative Arts Temple.
Mm-hmm.
And they will look up our website or just hit into Creative Arts Temple. They'll see a beautiful website with great... Our cantor is Barry Gordon. You remember Barry Gordon?
Yes.
From 1,000 Clowns?
But Barry Gordon's face has not changed.
No, it hasn't.
It's amazing. For I think 50 years ago, he still looks like a kid.
Great.
Jerry, you used to have two incredibly looking females with you up on the dais. Whatever happened to them?
Well, Tanya Solnick is still there.
Okay.
And my daughter, the other incredible female, will be singing a few liturgical selections.
And, of course, Jeff, the third incredible looking female.
Well, Jeff is not on the pulpit, but she runs the show.
She runs the show?
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much, Jerry. What are you going to do next week? Do you know yet?
Actually, I don't. I don't know what the heck is opening, but I'm going to see a few pictures.
Whatever
I think Life After Beth.
Life After Beth. Okay.
Yeah, it opens sometime.
Have a good week. We'll speak to you.
God bless you guys.
Thanks
All
much.
right, take care, Jerry.
The young woman who's sitting next to you.
Yeah, she knows you.
You know my son Sammy very well.
Okay, guys.
Yes, I do. Well, call me later.
Okay, you got it.
She knows all about you.
Be back.
Calls will be routed to an independent referral insurance agency.
Listen up, America.
Listen up, America. I'm talking to anyone with or without a pre-existing medical condition. A health insurance hotline has now been established to provide health insurance for all Americans, even uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call now for a free, no-obligation quote on affordable health plans available to you. 1-800-402-7599. I repeat, this is a hotline providing free quotes for affordable health plans. It's for anyone without health insurance, even if you have pre-existing conditions. Medical costs are the #1 cause of bankruptcy and financial distress. All uninsured Americans are strongly urged to call this national health insurance hotline right away to protect yourself and your family from an unexpected variety of medical costs that could cause financial hardship. Call the health insurance hotline right now for a free quote at 1-800-402-7599. That's 1-800-402-7599. Call 1-800-402-7599.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day. And little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
The Trees, an epic novel by Stan Weisleder, told in the Godfather fashion, with 2/3 of the book taking place in Las Vegas and describing the transition from the mob to Howard Hughes to corporate America. This book is Las Vegas. Jim Santangelo from the International Brotherhood of Teamsters said, I didn't grow up in New York or Las Vegas. I grew up in Jersey City, but I know everyone in this book. I loved it. Hal Rothbart, publisher, says, I wish I had written it. The Trees by Stan Weisleder.
Hello, CRN listeners. This is Michael Horn, inviting you to join me and my co-host, sommelier Nicole Nielsen from Roost Chris Steakhouse, as we present What's Cooking on Wine. Find out about the latest trends in wine, great food, spirits, and a whole lot more. It's What's Cooking on Wine, done live at 6 o'clock Monday nights at Roost Chris Steakhouse in Pasadena, California, and then the replays throughout the weekend right here on CRN. So if you love wine and you love great food, it's What's Cooking on Wine right here on CRN.
Your turn, Stan.
Yes, my turn to take a turn. This is Stan Weisleder on The View from Over Here, broadcast over CRNtalk.com, over the whole planet and beyond. That was Malcolm, who you just heard. So he'll just sit and watch and listen, and maybe he'll learn something.
Okay,
because we have our special guest now, who's going to get the floor all to herself, and that is Jamee Natella. Like I said earlier, extraordinary producer who has done a gazillion TV commercials, and now is going to branch out into other fields. So Jamie, you have the floor, whatever you want to talk about.
Well, let's see. What do you guys want to talk about? We need like an upbeat here, you know? I keep thinking to myself, oh, Captain, my Captain. You mentioned Robin Williams coming in, so I feel like a sort of sadness.
As a matter of fact, I had posted it on my Facebook. Oh, Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done.
Yeah.
It's a perfect poem for what's happening now.
Yeah. Do you know why he was such a great actor? Because he was a great comic. Great comics always make the best actors, by far.
The ones who have tried acting are very good. Who I love is Jim Carrey. Speaking about that, who are crazy.
I like Jim Carrey.
Hey, look at Milton Berle. No one ever thought of him as an actor, but when he did a regular acting role, he was unbelievable.
He was okay.
Don Rickles, okay? Great actor.
My favorite was Lucille Ball.
Lucille Ball. Red Buttons. Any one of them that was a great comic was also a great actor, because
if they went into acting, a lot of them didn't.
Okay. Well, they were doing okay in comedy, so why take a chance in something?
Well, look at Jerry Lewis.
I have to admit, look at Robin Williams' last movie was very depressing. It was about sort of what happened. you know. So it's interesting to see somebody who's so happy.
Anyway, let's stop talking about the departed and let's talk about.
Well, let's get in your career.
All right.
Okay. What have you been doing?
So I own a commercial multimedia company. We produce commercials, live events, and corporate projects, sometimes hospitality videos for hotels. I have an office in Tokyo, London, and LA. We've been in business since 1988. And
but you're 25 years old. It's
Thank you. I try, darling. I try. I just keep going blonder and blonder as I get older and older. You can't see any lines anymore, you know.
Do you have blue eyes?
I do have blue eyes.
Okay, so that's where the name of the company comes from.
It became, you know what, I was living in Tokyo amongst tons of Asian, you know, women with dark hair, dark eyes, and I became known as the blue-eyed girl. So it kind of stuck.
Blue eye?
So I had 10 minutes to think of a name of a company before I had just found my Japanese guarantor who was going to fund me and incorporate. And back then, you know, it was a little bit more challenging to start a business as an expat in Tokyo. You know, it wasn't very westernized yet. No one really spoke the language. It was a pretty challenging time. And I got a call, and I think it was a Thursday night, saying, you got 10 minutes to think of a name of a company so we can incorporate you because the lawyer has to go on holiday tomorrow. So if you want this done, we need to think of it. And I was actually at a baseball game with my girlfriend Karina back there, Karina Thompson now, and she helped me think of a name. We were sitting in someone else's seats, and they came over and said, hey, blue-eyed girl, move over.
And that's got the name.
And I said, all right, let's go with blue-eyed.
The rest is history. Why did you decide to do your business in Japan?
You know, I wasn't very successful in the States. I moved to Tokyo to produce a TV show. I did it for 3 years. And I'd come from a production background.
Ninja Warriors?
I wish it was Ninja Warriors. God, Ninja Turtles this weekend.
Is that the Turtles? Ninja Turtles?
No, they have a series of... athletic things. I like the Japanese ones the best. They better than the American Ninja Warrior.
They're fantastic. In fact, my 6-year-old is dying to go back to Tokyo just to see.
Sure.
You know, they've actually created a ninja house now in Tokyo that you can go, and you come in and ninjas serve you, and they give you a little lesson. They give you, you know, it's like the American Doll version for boys.
And if they don't do it right, they cut off your head?
Yeah, pretty much.
I have 2 questions for you. Have your travels ever taken you in the other direction, towards the Mideast?
Yes, they have.
Where countries are not as enlightened as the rest of the world.
Yes, they have. Well, for about 11 years, I didn't really step foot back in the States. I really focused on travel and the other part of the world. I've been to Dubai, Oman, Abu Dhabi. You know, I've been all through Egypt, you know, Sharm el-Sheikh, you know, all through Israel. I did make a passing through Lebanon. I didn't get to stay very long, just because I was in transport. And I work a lot with Sawtell TV in the Middle East. We do a lot of programming for them here in the States.
Do you have to dress appropriately when you're in the Middle East, you know, with the...
You know what? In Dubai and Abu Dhabi and Oman are very westernized. You don't have to. In other parts of the Middle East, which is very interesting, you have to wear a burkini when you go swimming. And it is full-blown, you know, black attire, which is really challenging because when you get in the pool,
well, that's like they did here 100 years ago.
You almost drown, you know.
Well, did you have any? Well, you don't necessarily look Jewish, but I don't know if there's any Jewish identity that you would have when you're in the Middle East. Did you find that?
No, they all
you?
thought I put on my British accent, and they just thought I was a limey at that point.
Right. As I was telling Stan, when my dad worked in the garment industry, they said, "Dress British, think Yiddish."
That is very true. Do you know what the first...
Wait a minute. The real success story is it's a little bit more than that. Okay. Dress Italian, act British, think Yiddish.
Okay.
Then you will have success. You have to remember all 3 items.
I like that. That could be my new motto. You know, that could be my new motto. I like that. I love Italian clothes.
You like Italian fashions.
I love it. In fact, I love Forte de Marmi. Big fan of Forte de Marmi, which is about an hour away from Florence, right next to Via Reggio. Great market.
So, did you have a shoe fetish, or is there a particular garment that you like?
You know what? I can't say I'm Emile DeMarcos, but I can say that I love good quality looking clothes that you can't get anywhere else. And I think they make good leather.
Do you believe in $5,000 handbags?
It depends who's buying it.
Right, if her husband's buying it for her, no.
You know, I also believe that you can find a really good knockoff bag in like Turkey, Istanbul, or, you know.
Speaking of knockoffs.
But the problem is where we live, in Beverly Hills, where I'm from, people call you out. If you wear something fake, the other parents know and say, hey, that's not real. So you don't feel comfortable.
Well, wait a minute.
Wearing
I have 4 Rolexes in my drawer that
are real.
They cost me about $50 each.
Well, we were talking about that when we were talking about schools earlier. My younger son originally started Calabasas High School, but he left there because he felt all the kids were pretentious. They were talking about the cars that parents had.
Oh, wait a minute. I give you a better
clothes.
one than that. When my daughter went there, one of them, and I won't mention her name just in case she hears this program.
She doesn't listen.
I gave her a second-hand Lincoln to drive to and from school. And she comes back one day really pissed and sore and really out of it, and she says, you know what, all the kids there drive Mercedes and BMWs. I can't drive this piece of bleep.
Aww.
Well, the story, to continue my story, my son plays soccer. So we had a meeting with the soccer coach. So there was mainly women because it was early afternoon, and they all looked like the Stepford Wives.
Oh.
They all had some sort of cosmetic surgery. They were all blonde. And
did you wind them up in the back with a key?
And they all had, you know, boobs, but I forget which doctor it was in Beverly Hills. And the coach said, okay, now we have to have a fundraiser. Now either we could do, you know, cookouts or things like that, or different things to raise funds, or we can each get $300.
Wow.
So they said, okay, which one do you want? We'll get $300. Everybody raised their hand. Whereas my other son went to Van Nuys High School, and everybody wanted to do cookouts.
Everyone wanted. Well, you know, you got to get into uniforms. See, now it's all about uniforms. I want a little piece of Mills in the Valley because they do all the uniforms for every school. From Calabasas all the way down, I mean, to the other side. I mean,
I think kids would look better in uniforms, or at least similar clothing, instead of coming ragtag and torn T-shirts and so forth.
Well, it's not even that. It's the competitions become so fierce with materialistic things.
Well,
and especially the culture that we live in Beverly Hills and in the Valley. You know, it's who's got what. You know.
Right. So is that what your next film's about?
Oh gosh, I wish it was. That's what my next film about.
But Jamie, listen, Jamie,
get back to business.
We're talking about things, but tell us about your new projects. You know, your website gives a little clue as to it, but tell us, what do you have online? What do you have on the drawing board for features? Are you going to do a new rash of movies about zombies and vampires? You know, or real movies? What do you have on the horizon? What's on your plate?
Well, right now, Blueyed Pictures, for the last 18 years, is really focused on commercials and corporate videos. But we are launching our feature film division. We have a lot of development relationships with people. We have a first look deal with Crystal Sky. We have a very close relationship with E1 and now I Am Global. And we are... You know, we represent directors, and so eventually directors want to sometimes go into long format. We represent Sean McNamara, who did the movie Soul Surfer.
That's been on TV recently.
That has been on TV. We're big fans. We also represent Joseph Resnick, who did The Fifth Floor, German director, and I did a movie with him in Alaska called Beyond, with John Voight and Terry Polo and Dermot Maloney. And Stephen Paul produced that. So that was a lot of fun. You know, went out there. And so we're really focusing on launching a film. We do have a project in development, which I can't talk about at the moment, but we're looking forward to launching it. I think the next feature that I'll probably work on is probably going to be in China with Crystal Sky. So I'm excited about that. I'm releasing a children's book series called I Am Sam In, and it starts off in Tokyo, London, and Los Angeles because I have 3 offices for Blue-Eyed Pictures, and when I would travel with my 6-year-old to these countries when he was younger, I tried to educate him on sort of the travel aspect of sort of the culture, and I found that there were no books for children from the ages of, 5 to 8 that
Will you
really
be writing
explain.
those books?
I am. I'm almost done with it.
Do you have a publisher?
I do, Penguin. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Do you have the film rights to the books?
Well, I actually don't know if I'll be making a film, but I do want to make it into a TV series because it deals with more cultural things, like why do they use chopsticks in Japan and not forks, or why do they have in England a king and a queen and we don't have a president?
Interesting.
So it's really the history of why things are different culturally.
Do you have any connections with the History Channel? That could be good.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. That would be great.
How do you get your financing for the movie? Do you self-finance it, or do you go to bankers, or do you co-produce it with other film companies?
Do you go on Kickstarter or one of those places?
No, I don't do crowdfunding. Or, but not saying that it hasn't been successful. I usually find it through people that I know, relationships that either have hedge funds that cater just to the entertainment industry. Sometimes I'll go out and meet people who I've met through other people that I know have a lot of wealth that are interested in the entertainment industry. Most of the time, I'm not really the financer. I do the hardcore work. I do the budgets, hire the crew, and execute people's vision.
They just write the check and you do the real work.
I make sure that they don't lose their money and hand it back to them. That's
I know in the old days when I was more involved with with film, being a woman was a disadvantage because, especially being an attractive woman, they didn't take you as serious.
That is true.
Is that still true now?
I don't think so. I think there are more female producers. We're very organized. We're very diligent.
Do you have a union?
We have women in film. We're getting there.
But I'm sorry to say, a lot of the women that I know that are producers are not attractive. They're very business-like oriented.
That's because they're 80 years old, Malcolm.
No, even the younger ones are more or less very conservative, and I don't picture you as a conservative, doing conservative presentation.
Well, actually, I think a lot of the commercial producers in my world that I work with are very pretty. You don't really get to see them. In fact, the first project that I worked on, I was helping for a trailer for Spider-Man. And I remember sitting on set, and I was tired. We were working in New York, and I was really tired, so I was sitting on a chair. And I remember one of the producers coming on saying, "Can you please get Jamie over here? I need to talk to her." And I said, "I'm Jamie." And they just said, no, we really want to speak to her right now. And I said, "I am her. You're looking at her. I got the walkie on. I'm talking." They didn't believe it was me. They thought I was an extra because I was sitting in, the chair.
Viewing it. Yeah, because when I was doing commercials, there are women I always find are much better in detail and follow-through. Guys are, more of the sales, let's have a drink and buddy-buddy, but the women are the ones...
They're into the macho thing.
Now, the women are the ones that, as you say, get the things done and make sure everything is, in order.
It's true, but I have met some really good... I have 2 producers that I work with, John Goldberg and Shannon Gardner, and they're fantastic. They're very detailed. I think it's really the quality of person.
I have to add something to that. When I was with the Sheriff's Department and we'd go out on patrol, I always preferred a female partner as opposed to a male partner, not only because they were better looking, but I always found that the male partner, he always wanted to be either Clint Eastwood or John Wayne, and that's one sure way of getting yourself killed.
Anyway, hold that thought, Stan. We're coming up to a commercial.
A commercial?
Yep.
Is that necessary?
Yes. We have to pay the bills.
All right, Paul...
You're listening to The View from Over Here, heard on crntalk.com, and you can get the back shows on www.viewfromoverhere. Don't put $, in because you'll get the wrong website, View from Over Here. And stay tuned, and we'll be back with Jamie.
Every day is Save the Earth Day, and each of us has a part to play. For more information and how you can do your part to save the Earth, contact us at SaveTheWorld.net. That's SaveTheWorld.net.
There are 3 letters in the alphabet that strike terror in most of us. These are the 3 letters you need to avoid at all costs. IRS. If the IRS is coming after you for $15,000 or more in back taxes, you don't want to fight them alone. You need the help of the tax resolution experts at U.S. Tax Relief. They've helped thousands of people like you eliminate up to 85% of their delinquent taxes. If you qualify, U.S. Tax Relief can settle your tax debts for less than you owe, remove penalties and interest, and protect you from bank levies and garnishments. If you owe the IRS at least $15,000 in back taxes, call U.S. Tax Relief now for a free consultation and see how much money they can save you. Call 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit innatlagunabeach.com.
A Killer of Lions by Stan Weisleder. There were 4 squadrons of black fighter pilots during World War II that had to fight 2 air forces in order to gain recognition, the Luftwaffe and the U.S. Army Air Corps. The HBO special and the recent attempt at a full-length feature film do not come close to the full and true story of these brave men. They were not ball players, they were not rap singers, they were fighter pilots and American heroes in the truest sense. A Killer of Lions by Stan Weisleder.
Enough talk about Killer of Lions. Let's talk about the Killer of People, Stan.
No, we did about that earlier in the show. And we're going to finish up the show with Jamee Natella. And I'd like to talk to her about all of the philanthropic work that she's been doing, is doing, has done.
And will do.
Well, I'm currently one of the West Coast ambassadors. There's many of us for the Clinton Global Initiative, so I'm very fond of the initiative and sort of the charities that they donate to and sort of some of their hard work. I'm currently also involved a lot with children's diabetes. My whole family was diabetic, so I really focus on juvenile diabetes and try to promote the awareness of how to keep your children healthy. Right now, Blueyed Pictures, my company, is actually editing a documentary that Natalie Imbruglia for Fistula with Virgin Unite. So we're really focusing. It's a charity that's very dear to her heart. And I believe right now she is there filming, and we will be editing this documentary that hopefully will be seen through Sundog Pictures on Virgin Atlantic. So bring a little bit of awareness to sort of what's happening out there, you know.
So when do you have time to work?
When do I never sleep anymore. I don't even know what sleep is.
Ask you if you ever get to sleep.
I don't, because at 4 o'clock Tokyo starts calling, and if I wake up super early, I get London. But if I oversleep and don't get my morning off right, you know. But you know what? I'm training for a triathlon right now, so I'm not sleeping hardly at all.
A full triathlon, the Ironman,
Malibu triathlon.
So that's what, a quarter of a mile?
That is
swimming.
Yeah,
well, actually,
what are the distances?
Let's see. I'm doing the biking portion, so I'm 26 miles.
Oh, wait a minute. You're splitting it?
We're splitting it. I'm in this group called YPO, Young Presidents Organization. I'm in the Malibu chapter, and we are all teaming up.
So you're cheating. You're not doing the whole thing yourself.
You know what? I'm lucky. I got a professional bike, and I'm working with the clips. I got a trainer. I'm getting up at 6 in the morning. I've never seen so many bikers at 6 in the morning on San Vicente.
When you're 25 years old, you could get away with it. So your motto is, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Thank you. You know what? I wish the other bikers thought I was 25. I think I gave away my age when I got on the bike.
And you went, oy vey.
No, I forgot I was clipped in. And completely crashed out and busted my bike that I just got back at the shop.
Well, that's a different type of experience. I've been in a clipped-in bike, and it's I feel trapped in there.
It's trapped. But you know what? I've gotten used to it. I'm ready. It's in 5 weeks from now.
So you're going to do the 26-mile bike ride.
I'm going to do the 26-mile bike ride.
And what are the runners and the swimmers going to do?
The swimmers, I believe, is a mile.
A mile? Yeah.
I believe it's a mile in the ocean.
And it's a 10K race or 5K?
I believe, I'm not sure of the exact number, actually, because I'm not doing the running. I believe it's a 10K or an 8K.
So this is not the junior one. There's one where the distances are less, where one person does all three. This is
correct.
like elevated.
And then
there are people who are doing all three. This is my first triathlon.
And then there's the Ironman, which we'll go on later.
God.
Anyway,
wow.
the Ironman is...
Wait a minute, is that it?
That's it. It's the end of the show. We got
That's
60
it.
seconds. We have 60 seconds.
Well, please look at the latest commercials and trends in advertising. Go to our website, blueyedpictures.com. BLUEYED pictures.com.
Blueyed Pictures.
We will have you on our website, so we refer to it there.
And vice versa.
And when you come back from China, you're coming here.
All right.
It brings some good Chinese food. Szechuan. Hunan. Anyway, you're listening to The View from over here. That's it for this week. And who do we have on next week, quick?
We have Sheila Conlon.
Sheila Conlon. So you can also get this show on www.viewfromoverhere.com.
If anybody wants to know what she does, she produces reality TV.
That's it, Stan. Say goodnight.
Ooh.
Say goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
The View from Over Here is a co-production of Infinity X and TBG International. For further information, contact Malcolm Burman at 818-687-2784. That's 818-687-2784.
Which was most appropriate because that was your theme. Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Tom Hartman, Barry Farber, and so many more. Entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Robert Conrad Show, The What's Cooking Show, and The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all in true CRN HD audio. Sports, business, travel, food, wine, politics, there is something for everyone, and it's all available in CRN high-definition sound. Log on to www.crntalk for listings and information on all your favorite shows. That's